Okay. All right. Hello and greetings to you, viewer from across the tubes. I am Gnarly Quack, although my friends and enemies call me Carl. And once again, I am going to be working on Dr. Strangetest, my coding or my testing framework for PHP. I keep wanting to call it my coding framework, but I'm pretty much gonna pick up where I left off yesterday. The previous stream, I was mainly writing tests to kind of bulletproof the diff algorithm, which I think we're pretty much there. A lot of those tests were failing, but some were unexpectedly passing, but just gave us a deeper understanding of what was going on and ironing out some wrinkles from edge cases and stuff. But one thing that sort of became, well, I guess obvious to me, maybe obvious is too strong a word, but I was getting the feeling that perhaps our structure of the code, as we got to the end of the session yesterday, perhaps the way I've structured the code actually isn't so great. Right now, basically, so this bit of work has been to extend the diff algorithm so that it can be used not just for inequalities, but also for greater than or less than comparisons. And that's because PHP supports that operation for arbitrary data types. And so if the language allows it, we want our framework to support it. And it seemed like the natural way to show error messages or failure message for those comparisons was to extend the difference algorithm that's already in the framework. But in terms of adding all this additional functionality to support that use case, turns out instead of having that as one sort of kind of centralized or centralized piece of code, one algorithm, it turns out we're having to switch on everything, or if this and that. And so it may have been a better idea to actually basically do check to see what operator we're using, what comparison operation we're doing at the very beginning of the diff, and then maybe have 2 or 3 different code branches. And the more I've thought about that since the previous stream, I feel like the more that's the right idea. So I guess what I'm going to pick up today is there was a failing test case from yesterday, and I want to go and get that fixed and just make sure what is causing that to fail is what I think it is. And if it is what I think it is, it's probably going to set us up for digging into some refactoring, some cleaning up of the difference algorithm. I have a few more notes here on things to test, but I feel like with where the code is right now and what these tests are, just getting this one sort of test to pass will be kind of a good starting point to start refactoring. And I don't know, it's a little bit late already for me, and I guess I'm feeling a little tired, so we'll just see how things go. I don't know how long the stream it'll be or how much into the refactoring I'll get into, but we'll see how it goes. So let me just first run my tests here. And this is, well, actually we had a bunch of failures, and the code is actually a bit of a mess because I had just implemented, where's the test case that I was actually working on? This here basically nested comparisons between arrays, and my fix for the code ended up breaking everything. Well, not everything, but these tests that are failing. And I think I know what's causing that. But we will confirm that here. Hopefully without too much trouble, although given my predilection for mistyping syntax and names and stuff, it'll probably take longer than it should. But so what I believe is going on is, so I guess we want to go into the function build diff here. And so normally with the way a typical diff works is you build up like a matrix that lets you know sort of how much the 2 elements or items you're comparing, sequences that you're comparing, differ. And then from that matrix, you sort of work your way backward to know whether you need to add or delete elements. So normally we construct our diff in reverse, but the way the algorithm is for greater than or less than comparison, we actually need to work our way forward and then to the back. So I thought we could just do that, but now since doing sort of a recursive making the diff generation a recursive call now, there are different parts of the code, I believe, that are now doing different things in terms of, or making different assumptions about whether the diff is being built in reverse or the normal order. And I think that's what's going on here. So hopefully that won't be too hard to fix. But it will probably increase the jankiness, the jank factor of the code a bit. So I feel like a place to start here, maybe, is here. So if, right, we are getting the state passed in here. We are not, but we are getting the comparison. So basically, if, I think I want to say if comparison equals namespace diff identical, or comparison equals namespace diff equal, then we're going to want to do this. And I told you this would be janky. Otherwise, we're going to want to do this down here. And that might actually be fine. So basically, if we're doing a identity or equality comparison, then we want to build this in reverse, and this is going to knock out all these other edge cases. Instance of, and I think it's what was it? So now I'm just going to do instance of diff copy. And that will look good. And then if this is an instance of, oops, instance of diff delete. And I believe we don't need to worry about any of this. And then we're going to want to assert that operation instance of diff insert, I guess. So that will be for that. Otherwise, instead of going through this reverse diff backwards, and unfortunately I had called this reverse diff just to kind of make it clear that, oops, no, that's not really what I wanted to do. Wanted to go through here. I guess I'll just call this diff now because the diff could be anyway. So, well, for now, this could actually become a for each, I believe. And I'm trying to think. Well, I guess we'll call it operation. I was like starting to debate what to call it, but I have my answer right here. So we're still going to have the copy here. We should no longer have right, we've already taken care of this up here. So this should be the only two operations then. And I think that might be that. So we should have no real change. We should have what? 6 failing tests. Although I suspect that'll probably go up. We now have 14 failing tests. Probably because like everything's backwards now. But that's all right. I guess we'll just push on. So now I believe I want to search for... Well, I guess I got to remember what the function is called. Insert, I guess this greater... So I guess I'll search for... And one of the problems with NeoVim is I can never remember what needs to be escaped or not. So let's start at the top here. So I think I just want to swap these at the moment. And then that will be fine. That should be fine now, I guess I'm saying. This should also be fine. I think this is going to take me down farther. So what is this doing here? This is if it's less than, and if it's equal. And I think this is now going to turn into actually, no, I should just do I guess I kind of don't even really need to do that. I could just maybe extend the array, but whatever. Just trying to get this pass at the moment. So now this is where I have a feeling this was just something I have not actually gone through and updated yet. But I do feel like that oh no, this all looks good. This all looks good. But we're going to do the same thing down here where okay. Let's see what that does. Not good things, it looks like. But this is also less than, so what are we doing over here? Oops. So let me just, because looking at this, it appears I did not actually update what we're doing with the greater comparison. We're not doing with less, so I guess I should try and make those match. So this is going to be values equal 0 and equal 1 state. So that looks fine. And then this is also, I guess, going to be and I think all this should be unchanged. Although this, okay, so I need to pass the state in there. Otherwise, we tack that on the equals, and then for each, that looks fine, that looks fine, and then yeah, that should be okay. Right, so instead of putting these into the diff backwards now, we're just going to put them in an order, which really actually removes the need for that. But again, this is just all being thrown in here to try and make things pass at the moment. And that actually made things worse. So which is a little bit like what's weird is I've lost my, it looks like, so things are still happening backwards, and somehow I lost my formatting. Hmm. Well, one thing at a time, I suppose. So what is, I have 14 tests. Looks like stuff is still pretty much not being put in the right order. So function, yeah, it should be, yeah, diff values is what we want. So if, so I don't believe we should ever get into this match partial. This will send us to build, oh, maybe it's just this? I This is going to get really grody. Is that really the only thing going on? Yeah, the array, it looks like the array, yeah, so I think this is what's actually going on here. So let's see how nasty we can make this. So we're going to do that. Otherwise, we're going to do this. And then here, then we'll build that diff. So if that is the case, then we're going to do that. Otherwise, we're going to do that. Let's just see where that gets us. $14. Okay, cool. Thank you, PHP Stan, but I appreciate the help, but can't you see I'm trying to make just a disgusting mess here? That actually did not really fix anything. So if we're doing that, we should copy the end value. Otherwise, right, we do the start value. Then we do all that. Then we do the start value. Also, we do the I guess I copied them. This should be the end value. So where did I ink that from? Someplace I didn't want to, apparently. All right. So let's see what we have here. $604. So this is assert greater. So those are not in the right place. What I'm actually not sure why that is. What was I doing there? So what case we're in greater? So what are we doing here? We're inserting the value. Well, I guess we don't really need to insert it into diff anymore. We can just put it right into the real diff. Because what's happening here? Okay, where are we actually appending to diff here? We're not really. We commented it all out. So maybe I can just get rid of that. Oops. Sure, PHP Stan will be angry at me for not using that variable. So that did drop our tests a little bit, or our failed lean tests a little bit. So this looks right, but we lost formatting there, which I'm not so sure what's going on there. That actually okay, so that changed that, but that might be right. This is a greater or equal, so it's saying this one is okay now. So we had what? Oops, 6, 5. I don't even know what line that's on. 754. Again, we lost our formatting, at least on the front. That's a formatting issue. Okay, let's see what's going on in 1172. Less or equal, so this is saying the same thing. Formatting, so I think we should be down to 4 errors, all of which are or failed tests. All of which is we lost the formatting on the front of our strings. Guess we'll just go ahead and delete that. And this as well. Just test that. Okay, so why did we lose the formatting on the front of our strings? We may be recursing here when we don't actually need to. So what happens if instead of this, we just do a copy value? This is going to be what state diff from f show key and pause. All right, we are I'm not quite sure if we're handing pause correctly there, but let's just see what happens. Syntax error, of course, because I can never remember to put a semicolon. So we have what, 4 failures, if condition, okay, well, where's equals, guess we'll just get rid of all this. I think down there should be fine. Not so sure about this. We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. Not to worry, it will be sorted out. Still 4 errors. So let me just see what's happening here. So I feel like that kind of needs to go down there. And then we can just, I suppose, delete all of this. So things seem to be getting worse instead of better. I am not sure what is going on here with, I guess there must be something going on. The problem with this is we're breaking out here, so we're never incrementing that there. So whatever is going on here is actually is going on somewhere else. Up here, I reckon. So what is happening with copy value? We default to no position, I guess. What do we have in class string part? Let's see where we're. So keyline. But I feel like string part should, maybe not. Let's see. Does this use position? Does not like string part. Does this format value in string part? No. Well, that explains that. Okay. Okay. Give me the format value. So this uses, so this, all right, so we need to get the right diff position in there, I guess. And I wonder how we do that. What are we doing here? If, hmm, uh, 'cause I don't think a string part, right? We have the index, but we don't know, like the best we can do, I guess, with that. I'm not even sure actually what we use this index for anymore. This is such old code. I almost feel like what we need to do here is if like I would like to get this working, but on the other hand, I want to be a little bit. I mean, if I'm just gonna add like 20 lines of jank to get this to work, maybe I just. Oof, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. Because it's like I feel like the importance of getting the tests to pass is now I have some sort of baseline. So if I break something in the refactoring or the cleanup, then I'll know. But if it's like I'm starting refactoring with broken tests, it just seems like there's the potential for things to get a little bit out of control. So I feel like, but speaking of making things janky, I guess I'll just do that. And that, I doubt that will fix anything, but it did actually fix that. So we're at least counting our lines correctly. So we're not getting, but now I still need to get the position into these first lines here. And where are we here? We're in guess we're up here in diff grader. So it's like the problem is if and I guess it's going to be something like if from instance of, and actually this is going to be from instance of string, or from instance of, what do we have, array, or from instance of object, and two is an instance of from, then do that. Otherwise, we're going to have, of course, I went ahead and deleted it, but we're going to have delete namespace, delete I think delete greater value, and that's going to be state diff from pause, I guess. And this is going to be insert lesser value. This is going to be 2. Show key. We need show key in there. Value. Show key. Show key. Better close that else statement up. So let's see if that fixes anything. $17.94. This is going to be two instance of from yeah, so that fixed 2 of them. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing here. So maybe I just pull this up there. Else, so from all of that goodness, delete that. If equals is going to go away. I guess we're going to want to this is going to go away. We're going to keep this test. Actually, I guess we can just yank this test. So if that, right? Okay, we actually then otherwise I guess that insert. Except I don't think we ever flipped these. I don't remember, but it seems like, yeah, delete lesser value, insert greater value. Then we want to do this and break. Otherwise, diff values. Otherwise, copy value. Show key, pause. And I think this can move down here now. And then equals is going to go away. And I think that just turns into that. All right. So something broke. Oh, I wonder why. Oh, okay. Kind of feel like I don't have a diff anymore, do I? Like just a diff variable? Oh, but that's passed by reference, so that's why PHP scan didn't catch that, I guess. Okay. Voila, we're passing. That was easy. Just see, you just slam in some garbage code and everything works. Ship it. So I did have a to-do about testing comparisons when failure happens in a nested array. And I do have that test case in there that is now passing, but I guess I feel like it's not quite tested as much as I would like to have it. So I guess now I got to figure out what to do about this mess. Oh boy, okay. Well, that will go away. I'm just laughing at shoving that into my baseline just to get it to work. Most of this is just the new operations I added into, I think. But what do we have going on here? I guess it's kind of the same thing. This is just like bulletproofing. Okay. So I think I might go freshen up my water, take a short break, think about where to start tackling this. I have some ideas, but I feel like it's always good to kind of just stretch the legs and think about it for a second. Why? What is? Oh, what changed in here? I guess that changed. Okay. Sorry about that. I have my notes down here. I just taking a look at them. So I guess I'll take like 3 minutes. Yep. Back in a few. All right. So I guess as like demoralizing and depressing as it might be to have watched all that terrible code just get smushed into those files there. I feel like it's not a terrible place to be because here's the thing, right? I mean, I've said I got a few notes about things I want to test and just make sure are working correctly, but I feel like I have a good handle on things to know how that's going to impact the code. But so as a result, right, basically I know everything the code needs to do, and even though it's kind of a tottering mess right now, um, in light of some sort of major feature change, like I know that's what it needs to do. And I suppose, right, the one kind of downside or temptation potentially to sort of do it that way is okay, it's working, so I've made the joke, ship it, right? Instead of going through and like kind of cleaning it up. And it's not, it's not just cleaning up, I would say, I guess, for like aesthetics. Um, but like the way things are going on right now, I think there's like a clear sort of sorry, I'm just seeing some strange lights outside. Not aliens, but anyway, something in the park. But anyway, it's there's like performance implications and of course maintenance implications. So it's not just going in because things look nasty. It's okay. We've got maybe like a M by n uh, complexity operation going on in some cases when I think like now it's linear. And I guess we'll see this as we get into the code. But I guess right, kind of I feel like sort of stuffing everything into the code and getting all the features in there you want, and then saying and then figuring out okay how to clean this up now so it's maintainable, performant, whatever other benchmarks um, you're looking for is a good way to go. Because then otherwise, right, you stick in a feature, you clean everything up, and then you stick in another feature, and you're like, oh wait, I need to change this all up again. So I don't know, trade-offs, I guess. As you can probably see, I poured myself a little wine as well. Okay, so we are in a clean state here, I believe. So I think I want to start with this build diff from edit. And let me just grab this for now. Where do I want to kind of start working on this? I don't know. There's like a late night like bicycle group or something going through the park, and I don't think it's motorcycles, even though I just heard one go by. I kind of figure it'd be a lot louder, but it just seeing all the lights go by at once, a little distracting. Okay, so this is build different edit. Okay, let's shove this down here. And this is going to be this. And I am right now just going to take care of greater or equal. So I feel like this is going to be something like diff. So this, I'm going to write this as sort of a, and I guess I'll bump this out. Boink, okay. As this kind of a counterpart to this diff values function, which was originally written just assuming like a classic inequality, equal, non-equal diff. So I guess I'm going to call this like diff. Well, just trying to figure out. The one thing I hate about the seam is it's hard to tell which thing my cursor's on. And so I always get confused, even more so than I usually already am. So this is going to be like a from value, a to value. We're not going to need this edit. Probably want this diff state, and we'll move that to the front. And then I feel like equals okay or something. Okay. So since this is the only condition we're handling, we can bump this all in. And we're also going to need to, since we're now only getting past an individual value, well, maybe I shouldn't have bumped that all in because, well, let's just let's just see what happens here. So, if and basically we're just going to compare values here, right? Yeah, so if from where are we? So yeah, from value greater than 2, value. This is going to just be end up being a copy value. Let's pull this over. So this is going to be the state diff from. Okay, show key. We're going to need to calculate that, and then I think that's it. And the show key, I believe, is going to be the same as here. So show key is going to be whether or not either item is in a list. And I guess we're going to need these assertions again until I fix that. Else if from value equals to value, and so what do we do here? I guess it's basically going to be if equals okay, and this is also going to be a copy. Otherwise, I think it's just going to be an insert and delete. Not sure about that one. Well, let's just do that and see what we get. So that's going to be, this is greater. So it's going to be delete greater value, and that's going to be from show key and insert insert lesser value. Otherwise, we have to be less than, right? And again, I don't like closing my conditionals, apparently. And so now I think like this code starts to come into play. So for now, let's just bump all that in. And this is going to be sub value. Well, I guess, right, we're going to have this condition here. Basically this. Well, so if So if 2 is instance of array and, or 2 is an instance of, this is just going to turn into 2 now. It's from, and from is an instance of a string, or from is is an instance of an array, or from is an instance of an object. Then we're going to want to do this, I guess. Otherwise, we're back to this. Okay. Right, so if 2 and from are the same type and basically they're composite values, then I guess we're going to want to like subdiff those, I guess is what we're saying. So this is going to be subvalues and 2 subvalues. Max is going to be that, and I guess position is going to be start. And for I equals 0, t equals 0, plus I, we'll stick this condition here. Well, except well, this is going to turn into this. I don't know. I would like to have this at the beginning of the loop, just so it's there, but then it adds like another check. But anyway, so we're going to do that. So then, so that takes care of that takes care of unequal arrays, I believe. And now maybe at this point, I think I can just call down to namespace diff creator values state from subvalues from to I don't know, 2 subvalues 2, and I think equals okay. Is that what we're saying here? Looks like it. So let's see here. I think they will actually take care of all that. Which seems surprising because it's like, so wait, what is this? If, oh, that's less. Okay. So we're going to want to actually break out of here. We're actually going to want to break out of there if we have anything other than an equal value. So let's, if not equal, then break, I guess. So, and we're going to want to also increment I here. We're going to want to stick this in here. I guess the other thing we could do is equals false. And not equal. That might be another way to do that, because right now we don't need to. Now we don't need to do that. Okay, so basically we're just going to want to copy values until we're done. This is going to be I think what I want to do is I want to go f values equals from sub values 2 values equals 2 sub values this will change then to that. This is also going to change into that. Although I wonder if instead of well, okay, let me just I'm just wondering if instead of basically returning like a bool here, if I should do like a spaceship operator thing, but I don't know that there's any value to that. All right, so this nothing is actually calling that, so that should not break anything. Oh. Oh, this should turn into that and that, and also not a method. Boy, what is okay? We'll get it right. We'll get it right. This is t values. 2011. What's the problem here? Oh. Oops. All right, so now so function diff, big moment here, big moment here. Uh, f value equals from t value equals. So if so at this point, if the comparison equals diff greater, or the comparison equals diff greater equal, then we're going to want to call that one function. Otherwise, we're going to call this. So, and this is going to be f value, t value. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to call namespace diff greater values. That's going to be the state, from value, to value. And then equals okay is if comp equals, guess I need a comma in there, diff greater equal. All right, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Whew. Well, that was anticlimactic in a certain sense. I suppose, no, what that, is that all that goes in there? Okay. Well, dang. (2017). Undefined array key 1. Okay, well, I guess I'm not sure how that could be happening. Plus from to I, we're not incrementing anything here, are we? I guess one thing that could be happening there is right, this only really holds for an array. So I haven't really thought about um, doing that properly for strings. And for objects, this should work for object, assuming they are of the same class. That's true. That's a good point. Uh, so do I need a special case string there? Hmm. Well, I guess one immediate fix is and what is it? From into value instance of from value, I guess. Is PHP. To value. That should all be closed. Not like something down there. But do I have to... Okay. All right. That's bizarre, but okay. Okay, so that still doesn't solve my string problem. I'm actually not sure if that reduced my errors or not. So I guess what is happening here with strings? So we do actually have strings split out their own case there. So what do we want to happen with strings? So let's... Echo, nope. So I think all my failures now are going to be strings, right? Doesn't look like it. So what am I even getting? That looks hella wrong. Um, where are we here? 2 or 504? Okay, so we're getting... Well, So we're getting that. We're getting that. I guess we're not doing that like initial and final formatting correctly, essentially. And everything is still going in backwards, right? Which is not clear to me why everything's going in backwards. Uh, so why is everything going in backwards? Let's figure that out first. Are we doing something stupid with now we're initializing. What are we doing with comp here? Right, and we're saying if it's we're doing this all in order. So what am I doing wrong down here? I guess I don't like I understand why the keys are or the like the array headers and stuff are screwed up, but um hmm. Well, let's just test this. Well, I suppose. Well, we said equals not okay. Right, this is an actual greater than min. Well, we are. No, they're equal. They're equal, right? We're saying they're equal arrays, so equals is not good. I guess I really don't understand why these are. Deleting n and so what is this doing then? Please don't tell me format value is formatting things in. I bet it is. Well, it should not be. Guess I'm very confused about what's happening here, obviously. um, Okay, well, I totally forgot. So yes, this ray is going in there backwards. Do I understand why this is happening? Am I just being incredibly dense here? Okay, this is going in order. Um, right there. Okay. Hmm. All right. Well, this is also leading me to think that the format variable should have an option to return an array because this is the second time, and I suppose all of these string functions here are just taking the string back and then immediately exploding it again when we could just get an array back. But I guess I shouldn't have started so late because I'm already kind of tired out. I'm not sure what a clean way to take care of this is. Because that now that I'm sitting here thinking about it too, and thinking about what's actually failing in the test, I guess this should actually be a little bit more complicated. Like this should actually I guess, well, I guess it depends on what it is too, right? But right, depending on whether or not this is a composite value, this should call down, I guess, or this should recurse too, unless we just handle it manually. Uh, well, that's a completely meaningless output. because the output we want is something like that. And what we're essentially getting, although completely reversed, is right. That's essentially what we're getting, just in reverse. Hmm. I feel like I have not been going for very long. Not even 2 hours, but I think I may knock off. Probably should have started a little bit earlier today, but sometimes the day gets away from you, you know? What is all commented out down here? I guess that's other breaking tests. So give me a second here. Hmm. Well, let me think about this for just a second. And let me maybe take a closer look at what's going on here. So I guess some of the thinking I had with like splitting this out into its own function was all of the long, like the actual diff algorithm, longest common subsequence stuff we don't actually need to deal with. And we also don't really need to deal with keys. I mean, I have some notes to handle that, but essentially classes of a or objects of a different class are incomparable. So like doing that is undefined, at least in terms of like greater than or less than in PHP. And also if arrays are of different lengths, then that equality is determined purely by the length of the arrays. So it doesn't even look at the keys. I suppose I could pull this up. Where is this table here? Here. So for arrays of different length, right? I mean, assuming there's also this code here. So assuming, which is like a PHP code that presumably somewhat accurately represents what the interpreter is doing. So assuming this is moderately accurate for arrays of different length, it doesn't even look at the keys. And it has this here, but it says right up here, if a key from the first array is not found in the second, then they're incomparable. So uh, whether the engine actually does this or it's just a dummy value that's not meant to be taken as prescribed behavior or whatever. Um, Otherwise, compare value by value. Otherwise, the arrays are compared value by value. So all of that is to say, for the most part, right, we can just sort of step through, for a composite value, we can just step through them linearly, and compare the values. And maybe just see what's going on with the keys, but we don't have to do this longest common subsequence stuff, is my thinking. But it looks like, of course, we have special handling already, I guess. Right, we have special handling already for just the standard diff comparison for strings, and then objects and arrays. And I guess so. One difference here is, right, if this case is a little bit weird for a greater than or equal than, I feel like. Like, we know exactly what we need to format, but it seems like it ends up being a little bit complex. Like, there's no need to recurse this, I feel. Although we could be, right, this could theoretically be an arbitrarily complex composite value. So we may want to just recursively do this just for formatting reasons. And then am I doing, so I do, okay, so we do have an indent. Does this take an indent? So I guess I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this. Oh, wait, we're formatting this right here. We're not actually passing that in. Is that something I didn't even pay attention to? These do look like they're being indented correctly, but so I'm just wondering if there's a good way to determine, because one of the things, oops, geez, this takes advantage of is knowing that this is a scalar value. So with a scalar value, you either match or you don't. So then all that's left is these sort of special case composite values. Otherwise, it's just a well, yeah. Not only is this a scalar value, but we know this can't be this would also be values of different types, just the way we calculate our longest common subsequence number here. So not calculating that, I guess, makes this a little bit more complicated here. And I guess we're not running into formatting issues with this because we're doing a lot of it uh, or I just don't have a test. Yeah, this is all doing the same thing. So I guess I just didn't have suitable enough test cases to catch this for greater than or equal than comparisons. But I guess too, well, I guess I could special case these. So it's no longer copy greater value, but like copy, or it's no longer copy value, but it's like copy greater value. But then we'll have a conflict with insert um, and delete. Because we can, right? Right here, this is just an insert if the values are of unequal length. Because I guess I'm thinking, right, these delete lessers and delete graders, we know it's going to be in a greater than or less than. And so, at least for their string functions, we don't need to array reverse them. So that could be something we do. Well, I guess one thing we could do here is well, except that could screw up result, but right. Um I guess I'm thinking if that is true and equals okay, right, this goes to that, and then with none of this being true, this turns into that. But then we need to make sure results still get set correctly. So it's almost like we have to redo this. So I suppose that's potentially a little bit of a start. So that actually, no, that did not. Now we don't have any because I didn't put them in here. Now we don't have any array. The array opening and the array closing didn't even show up. So hmm. This kind of makes me now want to do this comparison, right? Because with this kind of double comparison, this kind of makes me almost then want to do like in diff values where we get back sort of the comparison result. Okay, so then let's see here. What are we doing here? Oh yeah, so this is basically unlegible now because I so we are going to want to where are we here? Nope, we're on nope. So I guess we want to do that. And then where's our start string shenanigans? I keep. Oh no, I did. I guess I did actually copy the right thing. So we are never. So one nice thing about this is we are never, I guess, doing a strict comparison in this case. So let's see what that does. Baby steps. Baby steps. And now actually that we're getting keys to show up, and I'm not sure why that's happening. Why is that happening, I wonder? So we're getting what? We're getting 1 1 1. Uh, Seems very strange to me that 1 is working, but so am I just forgetting show key. So let's see. Echo function. From equals two equals format variable two. And then show key equals show key. Just see what we get there. All right. Maybe instead of doing that, okay, so here is, are we, I guess because we're only, one, two, well, so something's going horribly, horribly wrong there. I guess, right, we're only getting from and to on the array in the first element, so oh, is that why? Right, because these are equal, we're getting back true, and we're stopping. That is why. Now, wait a second. I guess because I got, we should be continuing. And that impacted nothing. So these are not any list, but what the heck's the key? Right, but a null list has no key, so so show key. Okay, that actually didn't fix anything. Well, this is probably going to be a hot mess. Wait, that passed now. All right. So again, the key is showing up when it shouldn't be, I feel like. Why is the key showing up? Because otherwise this would be working too. As with this. And right, we're not doing anything for strings, we're just saying no. So we're actually, I guess, a heck of a lot closer than I would have thought, given my motivation level, but is this because am I not passing show key in here? Because I feel like, right, so this is a greater than, so what's happening, right? I guess what is happening is one is equals, so we're getting back, or no, two, this is not equal, right? So where are we here? Okay, I think I probably made this mistake over here. Show key is, where are we here? From his list. All right, so I guess show, the easiest way to do this is show subkeys equals from, what is it? From is list or to is list. And we're just gonna, and then instead of show key, this is show sub. So show key, this is going to be show sub key. Now, why is, do I have a feeling that's going to break horribly? Access to, Right. What is this condition here? I think that I show key equals from instance of object or yeah, so this is not okay. So now we're just down to string formatting. That's amazing. That's amazing to me. Now, what do I want to do with string formatting? What was I doing with string formatting? And why actually was that working before, right? So what do we do? If I can sort this out. We get an edit and we build a diff. So we come down here to greater. Um, why would that, so I feel like part of what's going on is we never, so were we here? So we get the edit. Oh, because we're calling it on the sub values. That's why. But does that matter? So it seems to me this is actually also bugged, but I don't know why we would be getting an index error here, but not over here. So we're saying two, so if two ended up being shorter, right, this would never be the case. And then we'd be getting an index error here. So what happens if okay, let's just comment this out real quick. Let's see what we get. Go away, PHP stamp. So where is this index error happening? Valid code path. Well, anyway. Cannot start a non-container value. Well, okay. Yes, because a string is not a container value. Okay, but ignoring that, what is happening here? I command you to break in the way I want you to break on me. Undefined property. Okay, so now we have a assertion error going on here. I guess to get this to work, or from instance of array and okay, now we break. So now I have no. Now it works. So we're not getting our thingies there, but so I guess I must have just been confused about what was breaking before. But again, am I never comparing a string where 2 is shorter than... I am, aren't I? Where are we here? 860. So 2 is definitely shorter. And these are not going to be the same length. So it's not clear to me now how I'm not getting an index error there. So let's see what we get here. We're not getting any output. Okay, so I guess we're not even in a yeah, we're in the totally wrong place of the code. Okay. So we're here. So from is yeah. That might be happening, I guess, because yeah, there we go. So because why? Because one and two. So maybe that actually just maybe it just works. Maybe it just works. So let's think about that now. Well, I suppose it would not work if so I guess maybe it does just work. Right, so either the strings are equal for this common length, right? And this is where we're doing greater. So string one would have to be, in order for string where are we here? So we are yeah, so two would be right if this was actual or from whatever, what from and two. So I guess that actually just works. Because either these are going to be different before it's going to be just like an array, I guess, right? Either these are going to mismatch before we get to the end of from. But are we actually, wait a minute, this can't be right, right? We're expecting I guess maybe, although I feel like the semantics might be different here, right? Like for an alphabetical comparison, from is less than because this ends and this continues. Right, in an array comparison, you know, this is less than right. In this case, from is less than 2 because this sort of maps to 0, 1, 2, or 0, yeah, 0, 1, 2. Boy, that is just an absolutely terrible font color. 1, 2, 3. So that, right? So there's slightly, are these even lined up? No, okay. So that is a difference here. So basically what I'm saying is, right, in this case, we're adding this 1 on the front, but in this case, we're adding what's up to the end. And I've still got to figure out how to get the opening parentheses on there. And I suppose part of that is maybe I don't even actually, right? Maybe this is just, I just handle it all in there. And there may be common bits and pieces I can do here, right? Like, um, this would go up here. Right, we need to do that in both cases. This is going to go back to that's going to go back to that, I guess. We can put this back here. So what's different here is um, so I guess we're gonna do feel like 13? Are those both on? I don't know why that looks like it's not lined up to me, but anyway. So what did we just say? If this is a greater than comparison, right? So so if from is less than, okay, where are we here? Uh, so from is greater than, we're not even going to be here. From is less than, then either there's some right some line before we get to the end of from that is less than, I suppose. All right, so for I guess we'll do the same thing here. For from, so I think we'll just do this in here. If from, if a values from, although we need to initialize 2 in here as well. Do we need to initialize I? I guess we do. So if values from equals f values 2, then I guess we're copying the value, and that's going to be state if value show key is going to come from the parent, I believe, and pause. Else, I feel like we should assert that this is the case. And then we're going to delete greater value, and this is going to be state diff value show key pause, and I guess this is going to be insert lesser value. This is not going to be value. This is going to be this is also going to be it's going to be two values 2. then I guess everything is going to be let me just double check this. So if 2 is, say that, right. So f less than f length. Also, if from is less than f length, then for true, and then equals going to be false here. Equals false. Then f less than f length plus f and plus I. We're just going to copy the value. But we're going to need to do this. Otherwise, same kind of diff, I guess, but for t less than t length plus t, it's going to be insert value I think. Well, I did not close something there. That should go down there. This should all get bumped out. Should this? Otherwise, that maybe. So I kind of want to say like, no way. No. So what's the problem here? $50.51. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Wow, we're working. Okay. What? How? How does that make any sense? Did I? echo, diffing. Okay, PHP Stan, you're gonna have to explain to me how deleting some echo statements completely broke the code. And which echo statement is it? Which echo statement fixes you? Not that one, I guess. That one? So you like that echo statement in there. So what line is that in? That's in 1968, right? I'm not losing my marbles more than I already am I? So if I delete an echo statement in line 1968, you suddenly complain about this in line 2049, right? I'm not going crazy here, right? Other people are seeing this. Oh, you know why? It's a miracle of references. It is the miracle of references because format variable takes a reference to handle recursive references correctly, and as soon as you pass a variable into a reference, PHP Stan punts on the type of the variable. So because I put from and to into a reference there, what line was that on? 2049. It now thinks these are anything. Like, okay. All right. So what kind of crap did I just add back to my baseline? I guess it's there's it's those view. Yeah, it's basically the two same assertion written subtly different ways in different places. So, all right. So I think there I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and actually have some working code. But I do think I'm probably going to leave it there because my alarm did go off, which means it's after midnight here, and I guess I should probably think about getting something to eat before going to bed or doing whatever I'm going to do with the rest of my night. But okay, I guess I don't really need to commit that. Because that'll just be one. I mean, I guess I could, but I think I'm just going to leave that. Because I'm not, I probably want to take another look at it tomorrow when I have a little bit, hopefully a little bit clearer head, but, or whenever I take a look at it. But okay, yeah, I'm going to call that a stream. And for anybody that's been lurking or hanging out, I am grateful for you dropping in. And wherever, whenever you may be, I bid you peace.